people. 1-2's a swing and a miss. In the air tonight. Swing and a miss.
Back to Barry. He gets a slider and it drops in.
Hello, RailCats fans, and welcome back to the RailCats Talk podcast. I'm Kyle Svetich, he's Chuck Polerak, and we have all-star Josh Smith. Josh, how we doing?
Pretty good. How are you guys?
Well, we're just
wonderful.
living the wonderful life of watching baseball, especially RailCats baseball. So Josh, to start off, a very simple, basic question: what got you into baseball? What stuck around with baseball for you?
That's a tough one. I don't know. I played most sports growing up, and I think I just some about baseball. I guess I just liked a lot more than the other ones and stuck with it.
Now, was that because there's some people that are like other sports, but they're better at one sport? Was baseball your favorite sport that you were better at, or was it another sport that you think that you were better at, but you just didn't enjoy as much as baseball?
No, I think it was baseball. I played competitive soccer, but I knew I had a better chance at baseball, I guess.
At what point in time did you decide pitching was the thing you wanted to do?
After my freshman year of college, I was still hitting, and I started to see harder pitching, and I said, I can't do this anymore. Gonna focus on the pitching side.
Rather be on the other side of that one. That's understandable. You know, looking through just going from high school into college, you committed to go to Kentucky. You had the Tommy John surgery, right?
My senior year of high school.
What was that recovery process like?
Honestly, being so young, you don't really know a lot. So I didn't really know what to expect. So I kind of in my head wasn't the worst thing ever. You just kind of take it day by day and control what you can, and hopefully things work out, I guess.
With that being said, then you went and you transferred to Grand Valley University. What led that decision?
I just did the coaching change from my freshman to sophomore year at Kentucky.
Okay.
Like the guy that recruited me left along with the whole staff, and honestly, if I could do it again, I would have transferred after my freshman year. But it is what it is now. But it was just a coaching change.
Okay. Well, I mean, no matter what you did, you still got drafted by the Rangers. How was that day for you?
It was pretty special. I mean, I was a little underwhelmed with how, or not underwhelmed, but I was just disappointed with how the whole draft process went with getting injured. But you see your name come up on the board, it's still your heart kind of skips a beat, and it's like still a dream come true.
Now, what with it was the 25th round. What is those kind of talks like with, was there multiple teams talking with you, or is it just kind of like out of the blue, like, oh, I got drafted?
Nah, yeah, it was kind of out of the blue, just kind of watching the names pop up on the screen and saw mine and got pretty excited.
We did see that in 22 and in 23 you did reach double A. Going through the affiliate ranks, the minor league systems, what was that like journey? How going through those progressions?
I mean, it was kind of a grind. It's just once you get you just got to fall into the control what you can. It's really easy to look at the business side of the game while like just things happen for different reasons or whatever. Guys get moved up and down, but it was a grind being a later draft pick and the low money sign and stuff like that. It's a grind.
I would assume you have a lot of being that late in the draft. You got a lot to prove.
Oh yeah, I always had a chip on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it doesn't look like you have a start at all in your minor league career there. So I guess bullpen was your go-to, your bread and butter. Now the role that you know right now with the RailCats, that you're morally in that the seventh, eighth, the setup role. Has that always been your role, or was it more of trying to be a closer?
No, with the Rangers, they kind of up front, they're like, we don't really do roles in the minors, because they don't want guys getting used to that. the higher they go, because you're not going to get promoted as to a higher level and then immediately be a closer or whatever that may be. So I've pitched in early in the games, middle of the games, and just kind of done whatever I'm told.
How would you equate American Association baseball with that experience?
Well, they're not afraid to use guys, and you kind of have a feeling that it may be like that, like maybe going back to back more often. Like I had never gone back to back before this year, but it's the league's well run and it's pretty similar, I guess.
Same quality of hitters, would you say?
Yeah, uh, yeah, same quality hitters.
At what rank, like what level you would assume? Because you've been to not AAA, but through what we would assume.
I'd say most teams like you got 3 to 5 guys that are I'd say double A plus, and you obviously got multiple guys with big league time. Uh, that's how I'd put that in words. Don't want to disrespect anybody.
Oh, we're not we're just that's just throughout the ranking system. It's that the Atlantic League's at just a little bit upper echelon
Yeah.
tier, and it just want to kind of level out where you get different people say different answers to certain things.
Hmm.
As this year you've been used 36 times versus I think in 2022 amongst the three different leagues that you were a part of, you pitched 35 times. Um,
That's most games of my career this year.
is that a big learning curve for you to kind of get that experience where you're kind of being utilized more often than not?
Honestly, once you do that first back to back, and my that was such a mental block for me where I just figured I was never gonna be able to do that. And it was the second series of the year, and it was back to back 11 a.m. games in Milwaukee. I was just like, if I can do that there, I can do that anywhere. So you kind of just you trust that preparation process and uh try to maximize the time of recovery you get and just go out there and be ready to go. It's pretty normal at this point.
So you get so far most appearances in a year. How's your arm feeling?
It feels strong right now, and I think we're ramping up still. So
Yeah.
got to finish the last 30 games in one piece. So
But that's one of the things that me and Kyle go back and forth about is how often pitchers get used specifically on our team versus the other teams. And you know, it seems like you get that call, you guys go out there, you're gamers. It doesn't matter. There's no complaining. There's no, oh, I have excuses. Just the other game you went out there, gave it your all. Things weren't going, but hey, I mean, your heart was in it, and that to me, as a fan, as somebody watching it, I appreciate that. I appreciate the effort that goes in, um, being ready every game even if you hope that, hey, hopefully they don't call my number today, but I really need that break. But you guys go out there and game, and both of us really appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate you noticing that, and that just means a lot.
Yeah, it's uh, when it comes to pitching, 99% of it's mental, I
Mhm.
think. And when you get out there on that mound and you're not throwing your best stuff, uh, how do you pull through that?
Just kind of fall back on that preparation. That's what like you played those clean innings so many times in your head, and you just gotta remember that and remember what got you there, and trust that your stuff plays wherever you're at, and just do what you can. Find a way.
Yeah, it seems like when you're in a situation like that, doubt can probably creep in pretty easily.
You got to block that voice and remember you got to cover your innings is how we phrase it. You got to cover your
Yeah.
inning.
Now, with that being said, what you've been utilized with the amount of clean innings that you've had, that got you selected to the 2024 All-Star Game in Kansas City. Being one of two players out of the RailCats and both out of the bullpen, that selection, what did that mean to you?
Honestly, my father had brought it up like a month before, and I just kind of told him to not bring it up anymore. I don't like thinking about those things, but once Lamar pulled me in the office and told me, it was still a pretty special moment to see all the hard work pay off after things with a previous org didn't go your way and feel like you may have gotten screwed and just fall back on what you love. It was all a pretty wholesome moment.
When you make it to the All-Star game, you have that all that hype in there, and then you throw two pitches to get
He
the
did his
job
job.
done,
Is what it said. That's
to get the
clean,
job
crisp, and to the point.
right. That right there had to have been an amazing thing.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little concerned with how much rest Nate and I were on. We're on like 4 days rest. So I was
Mhm.
like, I can go out there and walk some guys. So I was pretty pumped. It was just two pitches, to be honest.
What was the Kansas City experience like? What was just the All-Star 2-day weekend like?
I mean, it honestly flew by, but it didn't feel much different than just going down there. And like I even told Ty, I was like, when I was walking across the parking lot, I was like, dang, I got a baseball game tonight. You got to get ready to pitch.
Do you have any I don't know, travel stories going down there? Nothing like I forget who it was, his bag got left behind and he had to do the home run derby that night and his stuff just came in. Any crazy travel stories? Nothing, all clean sailing.
Yeah, I mean, we left straight from Kane County, and it was quick. Flight was under an hour. Nothing great. No time for anything crazy to happen, I guess.
You might get out there and you might pitch for 20 minutes, let's say. You might throw 20 pitches, you might throw 30 pitches. How much time and effort goes into that appearance? How much preparation time and all of that does it take for you to go out there and put on a show for 20 minutes?
I mean, it's kind of like you got your daily, like I do a mobility and just stretching, and I have a weightlifting routine I do. But I mean, we get to the field at about noon to 1 o'clock every day. We're there till 10:30. So I'd say more than time, it's just consistency than putting in more time, maybe.
How do you keep yourself locked in? Normally you come in about the eighth inning for seven of those innings. How do you keep yourself locked in, or are you just more of the carefree? And then once my number gets called and start warming up, that's when I kind of get locked in.
Uh, so at the bullpen, we like to stay down on the dugout for like 1 to 2
Mhm.
innings. I just like to see guys in the box and just before I'm out there for the first time and seeing them, just see like maybe where they stand, just their approach and just small things like that. Then I go to the bullpen and kind of just watch the game from there, and then have an idea of like I'll probably pitch tonight, and then be ready, stretch in the seventh, and it's all a routine.
That's a good routine to have. You
Yeah.
know, when you're watching these guys, is that your time to study, or is that do you off? Hey, this is the team we're going up against. Give me the rundown on the guys. What is it I need to know?
Yeah, you kind of honestly, I'll base it on like where they played, like guys with MLB time, like AAA time, like alarm bells will go off, like, hey, this guy's an established bat, like with probably has an approach, versus like the younger, just out of college, low A guys, rookie ball guys, who are more probably free swingers, and you could take advantage of their aggressiveness and stuff like that. But most of the time, it's where they played.
So you take more of a strategic approach to your mountains, to your outings.
Yeah, I like to know what I can about the hitters, but I've always was taught to just pitch to my strengths, and Kent tells us every day good pitching beats good hitting. So just like to trust my stuff on that area. So
When it comes down to getting that final out and that final pitch, are you using your best pitch, or are you using the pitch that you think they'll miss?
honestly, it's all situational. If I got a guy 0-2, I gotta think like, oh, what did I do to get him 0-2, and base it off like his reaction to maybe a slider that's a ball, and then base it off that.
Right.
Um, very situational.
Now, this one intrigues me is when you're in a tough battle with a batter that's eight pitch, nine pitch at bat that just fouling off everything that you've given to them. At what point do you just say, you know what, I'm just gonna throw you my best fastball up, and if you hit it, you hit it. If you don't, you don't. Like, how are those battles in your head? What are you thinking?
Honestly, I think you said it right there. Like after like three foul balls, full count, I'm just trying to throw the ball right down the middle, like just hit it forward. Like this is getting old. And I think that happened for the first batter in Sioux Falls. He had an 11 pitch walk to start the outing. That's exactly what I was doing. I was just trying to throw it right down the middle.
What's I mean, outside of you're not getting the guy out and you keep fouling balls off. What's the most frustrating part of those?
Probably when you mix in a really good swing and miss pitch and he spits on it and he's just taking those and then he's fouling off the balls he put in the zone. You just kind of feel like, damn, this guy's seeing it well or something.
Those selective hitters will get you every time.
Mm-hmm.
So just for fun side, you've been to every ballpark this year except Lewis and Clark with Sioux City. You guys don't go there this year. What's been your favorite place to visit? What's been your least favorite place? Like more, I would say more mound-ish.
I'll go with worst first. It's easy. Sioux Falls, that mound was
Mm.
really flat and turf, which kind of a double whammy there. But on top of that, the bullpen mound was just a different height than the game mound. So it was just really hard to make, not really hard, but it was just annoying to have to make that adjustment it's a professional field. That's a simple thing to have, I guess. And I guess for our favorite place, where have we gone? Chicago, Milwaukee. I'll say Cleburne just because it was really warm there. And I mean, it wasn't the great atmosphere or anything, but it was just warm and Lincoln. I like Lincoln.
Oh,
That
Lincoln,
place is
okay.
sweet. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Lincoln's a nice field.
Yeah.
Change that to Lincoln. Nice crowd. Good out.
Which one did you said Sioux Falls was the one that you didn't like?
Yeah, that was easy. That
Wouldn't that be some
flat.
wouldn't that be some crap if the home mound was more accurate than the opposing mound for the bullpen? Like
Yeah, yeah, like only our side messed up.
For some reason I can see them doing something like that.
Yeah, maybe something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, you only
No comment here.
What do you like about Steelyard?
It's very comparable to every AA field I've seen. I love pitching there. The mound's great. The grounds crew does a great job. They said they rebuilt it this offseason, and you can leave some balls over the middle and they'll be flyouts. Worst case. Yeah, I like it there.
Very pitcher friendly.
Mm-hmm. You can have those occasional days the wind blows out, but you can't be too picky.
Yeah. What do you think of the Northwest Indiana area? Where they got you? Where are you staying? What city you staying in?
Over in Crown Point.
Okay. So that's nice.
Yeah, the downtown area is nice. The restaurants close early though, so we maybe get out on Saturdays to eat a real dinner. But no complaints. I mean, the weather's been surprisingly nice. They haven't had one rain out all year. Yeah, I got no complaints.
The crazy thing is, I say that the weather is as bipolar as the people. You can go from a 100-degree day to a 60-degree day. We've had where it's been blazing hot. The next day it's snowing. Matter of fact, I think in Northwest Indiana, with wind chill included, we've had a day that has swung 100 degrees.
Gee,
So
back home in Michigan.
it's kind of crazy. So seeing that we haven't had any rainouts is kind of an amazing thing.
Yeah,
I think last year,
first time ever in my career.
Yeah, I think with rain, I mean, other than the King County game where it went till like midnight because of the rain, but we really haven't had too much of a issue with rain this year. Because I think Lake Country we had a little bit in the last series, but
Yeah,
nothing too crazy except the storm that I decided to drive home in at home.
did as well.
My wife almost killed me because I couldn't get home, but that's beside the point.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was a good one.
is there a pitcher or a player that you looked up towards like growing up that you tried to model your game after?
I'd say James Paxton,
Okay.
big lefty from Kentucky. He went to the University of Kentucky. Just throws pretty hard, and I don't know. I just kind of like the way he carried himself and the way he threw the ball. But I don't really model my game after anybody. Just gotta go out there and be me.
That
Huh.
works.
You're
I
the
know
only one, right?
yeah.
You're the only Josh Smith. Well, not the only one.
There's a lot of those.
There's a lot of them.
There is a
You're the
lot.
only-
If you go to the baseball reference, you gotta click through a couple to get to. But that's nor here nor there on that one.
Yes.
Chuck, do you have any more questions before I ask the final one?
Oh, the final question. Oh man.
The hell is this about?
What other sports would you say you really like to follow?
Soccer. Well,
Soc-
soccer. I mean, obviously the NFL and NBA, but I'm a big soccer fan.
what do you like about soccer?
I don't know. It's a lot of people don't like how slow it is, but I look at it like a chess match, and I don't know. There's a lot of strategy, and playing it early on in my childhood, I don't know. I just see it different.
I would say that soccer, you have to be the most athletic.
You got to have a lot of endurance. I was a goalie, so it didn't really matter.
Oh, there you go. There you
I'm not,
go.
I'm not shit about just standing goal.
I was going to say that the thigh work that you have to do to be in soccer would help out a lot with pitching.
Mhm.
But if you're
Yeah,
not,
I mean, yeah, I was also 12. I hadn't stepped in a weight room until I was like junior in high school.
yeah.
So yeah, I like the Premier League a lot. So I follow that pretty closely. I'd say.
How about Welcome to Wrexham? No?
What's that?
Oh, jeez.
It was it's a TV show, right?
Oh
Yeah.
my! You're
Yeah.
like the third person to say I need to watch that, and it's the same reaction. Like, what is that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on. You got Ryan Reynolds and Rob
Yeah,
Metcalf.
yeah, I gotta watch that. The third person I've said that too.
They've jumped up 2 levels in 2 years. So I mean,
Oh yeah. I saw them clinch it this year, and they about burnt that stadium down. The fans they all ran on there.
yeah.
Crazy. But yeah, I know the team. I gotta watch that show.
That's
There's a
the
movie.
extent of my soccer is that show now. I've stopped watching all other soccer.
Yeah, that's fair.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
Josh. For the last tricky question, I always seem to stumble up everyone on is what's a fun fact about yourself?
Oh hell. I should have saved the soccer thing. That would have been it.
No,
Nope.
doesn't count.
Oh no.
Real one.
Is it about the trading cards?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot to mention that before. Hold on, stop.
Well, no.
No,
This is my
no.
Oh no,
answer.
no,
No.
go ahead.
You
I
go
guess
back.
I forgot.
You
I
go
totally
back.
I had that on my mind, but I forgot about that. Go ahead with the trading cards.
Me and Ty Tiedemann are very into the sports cards. We do the sports cards, and that helps my soccer knowledge. So that goes hand in hand. So I guess, yeah, that's my fun fact.
So you go there, you go to the shop, and you get soccer cards.
Yeah, but I have a big Mahomes rookie card.
Mm.
I used to do football too, but I sold a lot of that just to get soccer's a little cheaper. Some of the prices for football are through the roof. So, yeah, there's trading cards. There's I'll
Yes,
plug them.
that's
Brad at Underground Case Breaks.
yeah. You gave him your All-Star jersey, right? Or you at least showed it. I
Yeah,
don't. You gave. Did you give it to him or did you show it to him?
I gave it to him. He's
Oh,
gonna have me
nice.
sign it. He'll probably frame it and put it in his office or something.
I saw. I meant to mention that earlier, but that's the one thing that slipped my mind because we just get to talking
Great,
about baseball.
perfect,
So.
great.
You know,
That was my only. I was screwed if I didn't think of that.
my whole childhood was consumed with baseball cards,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember my parents would buy me the baseball card trading kit for Christmas each year, which consisted of a bunch of cards that were in packages that weren't legitimate packages that somebody else had already rifled through, right? A binder, some sleeves, and a price guide that was probably 6 or 7 months older than the current time, right? So
Mhm.
I open it up, I go through the price guide, I find out that I have a Jose Canseco rookie card that in this price guide was worth $12.
Oh, dang.
So I take that card and I put it on the top of my stack and I wrap the rubber band around it and I take it to the shop and I find out two things that day. One, that card's actually worth $65, not
Okay.
$12 like the price guy told me. And the second thing is the guy behind the counter will not look at your cards if you have a rubber band around them.
It might warp them a little bit.
Yeah. So 2 lessons right there for all those people at home.
That's
Well,
hilarious.
well, Josh, we appreciate your time. I know you got to get to bed so you can get up to play a baseball game at noon tomorrow and hopefully break this losing streak that we're on. But that's beside the point. So we appreciate everything that you do, especially on the mound and the time and the preparation that you put into your craft and everything along the lines of that. So we do appreciate that and you spending some time with us.
Appreciate you guys having me.
All right. And your job is to get Ty on next for us, which please.
Yeah.
Hey, Ty, you want to be on the pod next?
Let's knock it out right now.
Yeah, he'll do it right now.
Well, I have to be up at 5:30 in the morning, so
Yeah, he said he'll do it. Just reach out. He'll find a slot in the schedule.
All right.
I heard Monday's open, but
Yep. Yep.
All
You do it
right.
in
Guys.
person.
Thanks a lot, Josh.
Yep,
We
thank
appreciate
you.
All
it.
right. You guys take it easy.
And I want to thank Josh again for joining the show, especially after a game. After the interview was done after a game, I typically don't like doing interviews after the game. One, for my sleep schedule's sake, and two, for the players, just give them time to wind down because they do most of the time have a quick turnaround, no matter what the situation, and especially this situation was a little bit different with them playing Fargo at 12:30. They, really needed the rest, and so I appreciate them coming on and joining. And we did have a little sneak peek at the next interview that was up, and it was Ty. And as I finally got everything edited down and recorded and get everything posted up, Ty will be later tonight after this comes out, but after I'm done with all this, we have him on. So he's the next interview to come out. So I'll be looking forward to that. But yeah, I think that'll wrap it up for the podcast. If you want to follow Josh, I believe it's J Smith on Instagram. I'm not sure about Twitter. I know most of them are on Instagram. So if you want to follow him on there to get inside of his life or whatever the case may be, you can go on there. Other than that, RailCats Talk on every other platform that you have. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your night, rest of your evening, whenever you watch this. And go Cats.